Welcome back, everybody. It's Wednesday night. Coast to Coast Racing League's hometown heroes on Got Your Six Racing Network. As always, at Got Your Six Racing Network, we are racing for awareness of veterans issues. 22 veterans a day take their own lives. Throughout the night, you may see us play videos from organizations out there doing great things for veterans. And we'd like to show our appreciation by playing promos from those companies. Tonight, we got the regular 305 sprint cars, followed by the 360s, and close out the night with the 410s. Take a quick look at the points. Randy Shreves, 305s will be first on the track. Randy Shreves, Patrick Spangler, Joseph Grandy, Blake Chapman, Jeff Falaro are your top five. And we are getting ready to go heat racing. We'll take a quick look at the grid. Kurt Schatzer, Gary Taylor on the front row. Nick Schell, Roger Craig in row number 2. Pat Boyce, Stephen Bixler in row number 3. Joseph Grandy, Patrick Spangler in row number 4. And 513 Marine Machine, that is Jeff Barker, will start in the 9th position. We are at Lernerville tonight for all 3 races. Waiting for the cars to take to the grid, and there they are, the 34 car. That is the captain, Gary Taylor, on the outside of row number 1 with that 218. Kurt Schatzer, the dirt track bank hammer down racing entry, will start on the pole on his inside. Salty Dog 747. That's Roger Craig on the outside of row number 2. Nick Schell in the 58 will be on the inside of row number 2. Got 6 laps to get it done. Stephen Bixler, Pat Boyce in row number 3. Pace truck should exit this time by. Welcome to Wednesday night, hometown heroes on the Coast to Coast Racing League. We are getting ready to get the night underway. Pill draw for starting position in the heat races. As the pace truck is pacing the field, we'll make the right turn to pit road, and we will be underway in heat number 1, 305 sprint cars at Lernerville. Pace truck is off. Restart is on green. Kurt Schatzer on the front row. They're side by side at the flag stand. The 18 car, the 218 car will dive down low. Schatzer will slide up, get to the outside in front of Gary Taylor. Taylor's going to cross over. Is he going to try to slide? Yes, he will. Schatzer down low, tries to get underneath the 34. Schatzer, Taylor at the front. Nick Schell in P3, Roger Craig in P4, Bixler, the 39 car, that's Patrick Spangler, down on the bottom underneath the 41 up Boyce. Now Roger Craig in the 747 goes down low. It's like Gary Taylor was having all he could handle of that 58 car as Kurt Schatzer gets out in front of the field on lap 4 of 6. Looks like all the action's going to be back in the back. Craig slides up. Doesn't make contact with the 41. 39 car off the top. Patrick Spangler. He'll ride the top ledge, get back on track up front. Kurt Schatzer with 2 to go. Gary Taylor in P2. Nick Schell in the 58. Hunting the 34. Trying to look for a way around the captain. Good run off the top side by the 58. Can't quite get it done. Kurt Schatzer, 2 more corners to navigate in the 218 machine. Running on the high side, coming off of 4. It will be Schatzer, Gary Taylor, Nick Schell, Stephen Bixler, and Pat Boyce, your top 5. Heat 2 is about to grid up. We'll find Blake Chapman on the inside of Dean Reynolds on the front row. Andrew Embach and Brian Ishkainen on the outside of row number 2. Brandon Dittmer, Jeff Falero in row number 3. Steve Maurer, Tyler Wilson rounds out your field of 8 drivers. Waiting for the rest of the field to grid. I see your front two. Sorry, Brandon. I know I butchered your name. We'll go with Brandon I in that 19 machine. Blake Chapman currently 4th in the points. Will roll off on the pole in that purple 20 machine. A 200 car of Jeff Falero, driver out of Canada, on the outside of road number 2. Watch the 200 as he tries to get to the front. 83 car of Brandon Dittmer. Pace truck should exit this time by. Pace truck is off. Leaving the field to the youngster, Blake Chapman, as he is looking for that green flag. Green flag is out. We are underway. 6 laps to get it done. Chapman on the bottom. Dean Reynolds on the high side. Good run by Chapman on that bottom. 79 car gets a decent run off of turn 2. Falero moves up 3. Nose to tail, Falero. Tyler Wilson in the 042. He dives down low with Falero. Last time by, Chapman the fastest. Good run off the top by the 83 of Brandon Dittmer. He went by Tyler Wilson in the 042, trying to run the bottom side. Dittmer getting that top side to work. Falero stays up high this time by. We are nose to tail. Up front, Blake Chapman, followed by Dean Reynolds. Go on board with Dino as he's keeping pace with the youngster up front. Watching the right rear. Let's go on the right rear of Chapman up front. You can see him running, not quite all the way up on the cushion, but he's not far from it in that 20 car, setting a pace. Got a second lead, over a second, over Dean Reynolds. Uneventful heat race as the 20 car. Blake Chapman comes to the flag for the Heat 2 win, followed by Reynolds, Falero, Dittmer, and Wilson, your top 5. Heat 3 coming to the grid. Bob the Good, John Mato on the front row. Brendan Lacey, Greg Boydell in row 2. John Rayner, Nathan Aldrich in row number 3. Donovan Ross, Randy Shreves round out your field of 8 drivers. Looks like Bob the Good may have not made the grid. Oh, there he is. He's out front. Brendan Lacey in the 414. Top 4 will transfer. Bob DeGood on the inside. Driver out of Kansas City. I don't know if it's Kansas or Missouri. Canadian driver Greg Boydell to his outside. The 7 car also prior Air Force. I'd like to thank Bob for his service to our country in the United States Air Force. Pace truck is off. Bob DeGood will be looking for the green flag. Got the 014 of Greg Boydell to his outside. Watch the 014. Greg Boydell, pretty good in a 305 sprint car. Your points leader, Randy Shreves, rolling off in the back of the field. Bob DeGood gets a decent run. Brennan Lacey trying to pry that 7 car off the bottom, and he'll do it. Slide job coming right up to the top. 302 with the slide job. That's John Rayner. Nathan Aldridge in the 514 running down below. Bob DeGood goes by. Oh, looks like Bob DeGood may have got fed that right rear off of the 302. Rayner is MP3, followed by Nathan Aldrich. Randy Shreves has moved up 3 from his start. 56 car to the outside of Nathan Aldrich. Puts himself in an automatic transfer position. I don't know who that was that went off the top behind these guys. Up front, Brennan Lacey getting it done. Brennan Lacey, Greg Boydell. Lacey, comfortable lead with 1 to go. Boydell dives to the bottom. He's going to try to get that bottom to work. Lacey with 2 more corners to navigate and put himself into the big show. Boydell P2, Shreves, John Rayner in the 302. Final transfer. B main taken to the grid. Let's take a look at what we got. Pat Boyce, Tyler Wilson on the front row. Nathan Aldrich, Joseph Grandy in row 2. Andrew Embach, Donovan Ross in 3. Jeff Barker, Steve Maurer in 4. Bob DeGood, Patrick Spangler in 5. Brandon I, John Mato in 6. And Roger Craig rounds out your field of 13 drivers. Eight laps. Not sure. I think all 13 may transfer. Let's take a quick look. 1 will head home. Although it looks like 2 did not take the grid. Pat Boyce will take us to the green flag in the 41 with the 042 of Tyler Wilson to his outside. Green flag is out. 8 laps to get it done. Wilson kind of flashed away there for a quick moment, but man, what a great start by that 042. He's being pushed by Joseph Grandy in the 518. Boyce stuck down low. Donovan Ross in the 5 car to the outside of the 41. Joseph Grandy dove down, trying to get underneath Tyler Wilson off the top. That will put, as is Nathan Aldridge off the top. That will give the lead over to Grandy. Donovan Ross in the 5 car P2. Pat Boyce, Patrick Spangler, he's off the top. Roger Craig, comes back on track, makes contact. So an exciting start to the B main. Roger Craig up to P4. Jeff Barker in the 513 Marine Machine up to P5. Bob DeGood in the 7 car, falling off the pace a little bit. The 514 of Nathan Aldridge. It's got a bent up race car. Is back on track. Tyler Wilson in the 042 is running back in 8th position. On lap 6 of 8, Joseph Grandy about to come up on lap traffic. Big shout out to A&J Custom Creations for putting on the 305 race tonight. 2 laps to go. Grandy, Pat Boyce. Almost 2-second lead by Grandy. He's about to come up on that lap traffic with 1 to go. How hard will Grandy push it? Tucks in behind the 042. Gets a little bit loose off the corner. It will be Grandy, Pat Boyce, Roger Craig in P3, Jeff Barker in P4, Donovan Ross, and Bob DeGood, your top 6. We will have 3 minutes of warm-up, so ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Welcome back. Warm-ups, about 30 seconds to go. Blake Chapman in the 20 car at the top of the board in warm-ups. Jeff Valero P2. Donovan Ross, Patrick Spangler, Randy Shreves rounds out your top 5. Time for your feature race. Take a look at the grid. Kurt Schatzer, Blake Chapman on the front row. Brennan Lacey, Gary Taylor in row number 2. Dean Reynolds, Greg Boydell in 3. Nick Shell, Jeff Valero in 4, Randy Shreves Bixler in 5, Dittmer Rayner in 6, Grandy Boyce in 7, Craig Barker in 8, Ross DeGood in 9, Wilson Aldrich in 10, Maurer Spangler in 11th row, and Imbach and Brandon I in the 12th and final row. So let's see if that 218 of Kurt Schatzer can hold off the 20 of Blake Chapman in the first feature of the night. Lights will go off on the pace truck, this time by leaving the field to Kurt Schatzer. "20 laps in the 305 sprint cars to start off the night. Green flag is out. We are underway. Kurt Schatzer on the bottom. Blake Chapman to his outside. Schatzer will dive down low. Good run by the 20 off the middle. It will be Chapman to the point. Dean Reynolds has his hands full with Gary Taylor as the yellow flag comes out. Let's take a look. Looks like Roger Craig in that 747. Shreves gets loose. Nowhere for Roger Craig to go. Take a look at that from the cockpit of Craig. He just had nowhere to go. Shreves in the 56 car gets loose. So we'll line them up and try it once again. Kurt Schatzer gets his lead back since we didn't quite make it a lap. Blake Chapman all restarts in sprint cars. Our single file. Lights are off on the pace truck. Should exit, leave the field to the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. The pace truck is off. Green flag is out. We are back underway. Good start by Schatzer. Gets a little lead over Blake Chapman in P2. Schatzer chooses the bottom. Blake Chapman goes the middle. Dean Reynolds in P3 in the 79 machine with Gary Taylor to his rear tail tank. Up front, it's going to be a battle. Schatzer and Blake Chapman going at it. Both cars on the high side now. Schatzer down low off of 4. Good run by Blake Chapman as the caution flag comes back out. Let's take a look. .518 of Grandy went up into the 75 there. You can see that front left get kind of bent up. We'll line them up and get ready to go again on lap 4 of 20. Kurt Schatzer once again, single file, will take us back to green flag racing. Schatzer, Chapman, Reynolds, Taylor, Shell, my apologies. Green flag is back out. We are underway. Caution comes back out once again. Kind of getting caught up with the caution bug here. Roger Craig involved once again in the 747. Let's see what happened. Running back there with the 514. Dives down low. The 888 just comes down and cuts off Roger Craig. Kurt Schatzer still at the front of the field. So still up front, Kurt Schatzer in that 218 dirt track bank ride, followed by Blake Chapman. Crash Sim Racing Galen's Popcorn number 20. Dean Reynolds in the 790. Gary Taylor in the 34. Nick Schell in the 58. My apologies. Biggest mover so far is Tyler Wilson in the 042. He's up 7 from the start. As we're getting ready to go back green on lap 6 of 20. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Schatzer starts on the bottom side as everyone follows the leader down low. Blake Chapman running the middle. Good run off a 2 by Chapman. Can Schatzer get up to the top side? He stays in the middle. Good run off the high side by Chapman. Put the 20 car to the point. Kurt Schatzer now running the middle. Dean Reynolds trying to go on the high side. Follow Chapman through. Schatzer finds the top side. Dean Reynolds is going to slide down low. He's got Gary Taylor in that 34 car coming with him. Now Taylor dives down low. He'll slide up. Can't quite close the deal in front of the 79. Saw that coming off the top. Goes Dean Reynolds after some slight contact with the 34 car. So rewind that here real quick. You can see Dean Reynolds on the high side. 34 car gets a little bit loose, comes up, bumps the That caution started about mid-backstretch for the 79 car to finally go over the top. Blake Chapman didn't want to see that caution comes out. That puts the youngster back at the front of the field. Kurt Schatzer to his rear tail tank.
Green.
Blake Chapman, green flag is out. Blake Chapman back underway. Kurt Schatzer now under attack. Gary Taylor, the captain in the 34, Salty Dog Racing, trying to give the 218 all he can handle. Nick Shell in the 58's been up front all night. Greg Boydell back in P5. Brandon Dittmer in that 83 with your points leader, Randy Shreves, running back in P7. 200 of Jeff Valero, P8. 518 of Joseph Grandy back in P9, followed by Donovan Ross, Tyler Wilson. Those three running under a blanket. Donovan Ross tries to go down low and disappears for a moment. Jeff Barker in the 513, John Rayner, Patrick Spangler in the 39. Nathan Aldrich in the 514, Bob DeGood. As the caution comes back out, big pileup on the front stretch. See what happened. The 83 car, that's the green car right below you going into turn 3. Boy, the 042 comes up and slides into Dittmer. Everyone else parked at the flag stand. So lap 16 of 20. Blake Chapman, Kurt Schatzer, Gary Taylor, Nick Shell, Greg Boydell, your top 5. We will get an interview with your top 3 at the conclusion of this race.
Green. Caution, yellow flag.
Pace truck has caught up. The field has the pace car. It is Blake Chapman, Kurt Schatzer, 16 of 20 done. Don't forget, coming up next are the 360 sprint cars. Pace truck will exit. Chapman, Schatzer, Taylor, your top three. The battle's going to be for that final podium position. The 58 of Nick Shell has been in the battle all race. Randy Shreves dives that car down to the bottom. The 56 car, current points leader, Randy Shreves, in the mix for a podium. Good run off the high side by Shell. Kurt Schatzer down low. Blake Chapman continues on the high side. Caution comes back out. John Rayner involved. It's like Grandy had to check up. Rayner's okay there. Just slides into the back of Grandy. Bob DeGood able to get by, as was Dean Reynolds. Roger Craig made it by. So we'll line them up and give it one more try. Blake Chapman, Schatzer, Taylor, your current cars in the podium positions. Blake Chapman will take us back to green. Pace truck is off, as is Chapman and KSR number 20 machine. Chapman slides down to the bottom. Kurt Schatzer chooses the bottom. Gary Taylor up high. Got a little scuffle. Now Randy Shreves shows up at the front. The 56 car, your current points leader, on the high side, gets by Falero. Will he have enough time? With one to go, Chapman up front, followed by Schatzer. Gary Taylor in the 34, coming off a turn 4. 20 of Blake Chapman will take the win, followed by Schatzer and Gary Taylor. Randy Shreves moves up 4, as did Jeff Falero. Both those cars finishing just outside a podium finish. Biggest mover of the race is the 042 of Tyler Wilson, who moved up 8 from his starting position. We'll get a word with your top 4 here momentarily. If we can find your top 4. Get those gentlemen in the waiting room here. There's Blake Chapman and Kurt Schatzer waiting on Gary Taylor to join us. There is Gary Taylor in the 34 machine. He moved up one from his starting position. Gary, this is Joe. You got me? Gary, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, that was a good run up front by the 34. Kind of stayed up front all night. What was your strategy?
Nothing. I was just following the one in front, hoping the guys behind me didn't come up past me.
Man, good
No.
run. Do you think you had anything for those guys in front of you?
No, they were gaining a bit, and no, for me, this is exceptional to get a podium. So I'm quite happy where I am.
Man, I tell you what, that 34 car looked good up front for sure. Man, who do you want to thank on that ride for your podium finish?
Okay, Salty Dogs for sure. Coast2Coast Racing League. Malcolm Mills Mechanical. That'll do it for tonight, Joe.
Man, tell me how this Salty Dogs things work. I don't think you, is it who moves up the most or finishes above the others?
Yeah, whoever wins usually gets. I got a gold bone tonight because we had so many guys got to be in. It's based on numbers, and so I'll pick up a gold bone tonight.
Man, that's awesome. Congratulations. Good run.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Kurt Schatzer in the 218. Starts on pole, falls back one. Kurt, this is Joe. You got me?
Yeah, I hear you, Joe.
Man, good run in the 218. You kind of went to the middle to bottom early. Looks like the high side was the place at that time to be. Was your strategy to kind of run the middle, or were you looking for the high side?
I played with the high side maybe 1 or 2 laps early, and Blake was way faster up there than I was, and he was applying a good bit of pressure on me, and then I didn't want to look stupid and go over leading, so I just moved on down and played conservative a little bit, and it worked out.
Yeah, man, good run. Did you have anything for Blake late? He also moved down to the bottom when he saw you on the bottom, I think. And do you think you had anything for him?
No, I was just racing my race there. It got slick at that point, and I was just concentrating on trying not to spin my tires. There was a couple restarts there. I thought I could hang with him a little bit, but for the most part, he would stretch it out on me.
Yeah, man, great run, my friend. Who do you want to thank on that ride for your second place finish?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay. Everything Dirt Track Bank does for us and our iRacing team there, and got your 6 Racing Network with you over there. You do an awesome job with Friday Night Lights, and the team Hammer Down Racing, Brandon Templeton, and Brian Dickens, and yourself there, and Roger Preston for giving us a place to race every week, and give a shout out to everybody that comes out in the races. Appreciate everybody that comes out here and makes a full field.
Yeah, man, that 218 came home clean tonight on a podium. Great run, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. The 20 car, Blake Chapman, moves up one from his starting position. Blake, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
Man, walk us through your night in that 20 machine. You and Kurt Schatzer went at it early there. You were able to make the pass. What was your strategy going in here at Lernerville?
Oh, well, I figured if I could get around Kurt pretty quickly, then I'd have a good chance of winning this thing. And I didn't get around him as quickly as I would have liked with all the cautions and stuff, but he was kind of running that middle bottom line, and he was giving me the top, so that's where I went. And it was still pretty good. I could run the car pretty good up there, so I got some momentum and got around him, and it got slick out there. There's a lot of cars here tonight. When you got this many cars, it definitely helps to draw the pull of a heat and to be able to start up front. And it got really slick here tonight, and I think guys weren't expecting it, so that's why we had so many cautions. But love to see the high car counts, and glad to put it on the podium once again.
Yeah, man. So it's been like, I don't even know how long since I broadcast on the Coast2Coast Racing Network, but last time I broadcast, I talked to you twice, I think. So it's good to see that things have not changed. Man, who do you want to thank on that ride for your victory in the 305 sprint cars?
Well, I gotta thank my parents and grandparents for watching and supporting. All the boys down at the Kite Sim racing team and the Can-Am racing team. The Salty Dogs for letting me join them tonight. I gotta thank Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Head over to their website and use code CART, C-A-R-T, at checkout for 15% off some of their delicious popcorn. And I gotta thank you for putting this on, Joe. I enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, man, you gonna stick it out for the 360s and 410s?
I'll be here all night.
Man, so I wanted to ask real quick, what is the deal? You were running in the World of Outlaws qualifier, were you not?
Well, I did, yeah. Yeah, I
And
ran that.
how'd it go? I did not
Uh,
get the results.
Well, I ended up probably about 10, 15 spots out of how many guys they take. And I was in the lower splits because my I rating isn't quite as high, but I was just doing it for the experience. And I had a fun time. Won a couple of races. So now I know what I need to change, what I need to get ready for the next time the qualifiers come around.
So you're in the next qualifiers.
I'm planning on running them.
That a boy. We'll see you in the 360s.
See you, Joe.
All right, man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are the 305 sprint cars. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, as you heard, we will be with the 360 sprint cars. So stick around. We'll be right back.
My name's Nick Powers, and I'm the president and lead instructor of Warfighter Scuba. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps from the years 2003 to 2007, with one combat deployment to Haditha, Iraq in 2006. Throughout my time overseas, I experienced a lot of situations that you wouldn't necessarily find yourself in the United States. IEDs, getting shot at, rocket attacks, mortar attacks, you name it, it happened. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2007, I tried to adjust back to civilian life, and the whole time you're in, you just can't wait to get out. And when you get out, you start to realize, did you make the right decision? 9 times out of 10, most of the guys that get out, they immediately plummet into a depression cycle because you don't have that structure anymore that the military provides you. And this hit me super hard. We moved to one of the #1 top dive destinations in the entire world, and I figured I'd start getting back into scuba diving. And after our first couple dives, I realized how peaceful it was underwater and how none of my problems followed me. You're just there in the present moment. I had the idea for Warfighter Scuba, and I kind of hinted at it, and they said, "You go for it." And that's basically how Warfighter Scuba was born. So Warfighter Scuba is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit with the IRS. We bring combat wounded veterans down to the Caribbean to teach them scuba diving to treat their wounds. Whether their wounds are physical or mental, such as PTSD, scuba diving is a extremely therapeutic activity for mental stressors and for physical ailments. Mentally, as soon as you go underwater, your body just reacts. It's not normal. You're not meant to breathe underwater. Automatically puts you into the present moment. You have nothing but peace and calm. This ability to separate yourself from reality really allows veterans to find out what their trigger mechanism might be for their particular mental stressors. So every veteran who comes through our programs gets a 100% funded trip. Each veteran also receives a round-trip ticket from their home of record. That ticket will bring them straight into Roatan, and their entire week stay, their hotel, their meals, their snacks, everything's paid for. So that veteran can get an entire week away from reality and completely separate from any kind of problems they might be facing at home. So each veteran receives very private and intimate training sessions when they come down to Roatan. We first start in the pool. We do some confined water skills. We'll then switch out to the open water dives. From that point on, it's not even training anymore. It's just fun. It's learning on a level that I don't think most people have experienced before. We do all the certifications for them that we can in a week at their pace, from open water to full face mask to nitrox. every trip that we have, whether it's one veteran or 4 veterans at a time, we just have a blast. You know, there's no bad karma. We've seen sharks, we've seen turtles. I mean, we've seen 4 eagle rays at once. I mean, just the things that happen when we're in the water together are truly, they're just unbelievable. The dedication that these vets have now to scuba diving and to wanting to come back and to help other veterans experience what they've experienced. It hits me in the heart more than most things have ever hit me in my heart. It's truly an honor to take, you know, these heroes into the water. It's really cool to see the transformation that happens to them, you know, from being, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. You know, I've gone snorkeling a few times, or, you know, I'm not that good of a swimmer. And the funny thing about scuba is none of that matters. You know, you're completely weightless in the water. You could come down and have 0 experience in the water and be one of the better scuba divers out there. So as with all nonprofits, we rely solely on generous donors such as yourselves. None of these programs could exist without people who are willing to give some of their hard-earned money up to save veterans who might be struggling with everyday life and have that unfortunate thought of suicide. 100% of every dollar that's donated goes directly to the veterans. I personally, myself, I do not take any kind of money. All my time is donated. There's no salary to anybody who's on the board or any staff positions in Warfighter. Donations can be made on our website at www.warfighterscuba.org. And remember, every donation is 100% tax deductible.
Welcome back. The 360 Sprint Cars have taken to the track at Lernerville. And for another full program, coming up next will be the 410 Sprint Cars. So we got Sprint Cars galore here tonight at Lernerville. Jeff Valero at the top of the board with a 13.015. I believe they now do pill draws for your start. Holy smokes. Stephen Goldner with dramatic exit. As we are getting ready to go feature racing. Stephen Goldner, Greg Boydell on the front row, Roger Craig, Jeffrey Kemper in row 2, Nathan Aldrich, Gary Taylor in row number 3, Donovan Ross and Nick Schell round out your field of 8 drivers. Pace truck brings the field onto the grid. Just Stephen Goldner with the lucky draw for P number 1. Six laps to get it done. Top 4 heading directly to the feature. Although I think everybody will head to the feature if my math was correct. Pace truck is off, getting ready to go green. Watch that 014 on the outside. Green flag is out. We are underway. Stephen Goldner, Greg Boydell on the front row. Good start by Goldner. Roger Craig in the 747 jumps up. Falls back in line. Oregon's Jeffrey Kemper in the 181 with his hands full of Gary Taylor. Nathan Aldrich in the 514, Donovan Ross in the 5. Up front, Goldner getting away from the field. Canadian drivers, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nathan Aldrich out of New York in the 514, currently running in P5. Jeff Kemper, Oregon driver, in P6. Donovan Ross, Nick Schell in the black and yellow cars. That's the 5 and the 58. On lap 5 of 6, 2 to go. Coming to the white flag, Goldner has the 30 car on rails. White flag is out, 1 to go for the 30 car. Goldner taking full advantage of his great pill draw. 30 car off of turn 4 up high. It will be Goldner, Boydell, Craig, Aldrich. Gary Taylor made contact with Nathan Aldrich there at the end. Heat 2, Brennan Lacey, Jeff Barker on the front row. Stephen Bixler, Pat Boyce in row number 2. Randy Shreves, Andrew Embach in 3. Dean Reynolds and Connor Ross in row number 4. Again, top 4 heading to the feature. Trying to, there we go. Waiting on Brennan Lacey in the 414 to take to the grid. Looks like Lacey is a little bit delayed in that 414. Flirting with missing the grid altogether. Lacey misses the grid. That will move Randy Shreves up to the front row. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the points here real quick. Brandon Dittmer, Patrick Spangler, Blake Chapman, Randy Shreves, Nathan Aldrich, your top 5. Brennan Lacey and Stephen Bixler did not make the call to grid. Randy Shreves will roll off on the inside of row number 1. Pace truck is off. 6 laps to get it done. Top 4 heading directly to the feature. Green flag is out. We are underway. Randy Shreves in the 56. Bumps tires there with the 513 of Barker. Dean Reynolds took a peek down low, but it'll be Pat Boyce. Wow, Reynolds fit that in a space that was not big enough for a midget car. He fit it in there. Randy Shreves to the lead. Jeff Barker in the 513 P2. Boyce 3. Embach in P number 4, followed by Dean Reynolds in the 79. Connor Ross in the 34. Now the 56 is Shreves starting to work the field. Got almost a second gap between himself and the 513 Marine Machine. I'd like to thank Jeff Barker for his service to the United States and the United States Navy in that 513 machine. Pat Boyce in the 41. Andrew Embach in the final transfer position. You can see he kind of blinks out there for a moment. Randy Shreves opens up over a second gap. 1 to go. Randy Shreves, Jeff Barker. Shreves has the 56 on a rail. Take the LGR Motorsports ride for the heat number 2 win. Followed by Barker, Boyce, and Connor Ross, your top 4. Heat 3 finds Blake Chapman, Barry Goldner on the front row. Brandon Dittmer, Bob DeGood in row number 2. Patrick Spangler, Joseph Grandy in 3. And Jeff Falero rounds out your field of 7 drivers. Blake Chapman at the front of the field will take us to the green flag in that 20 machine. You saw him have a great night in the 305 sprint cars. Got Barry Goldner to his outside. Brandon Dittmer with Bob the Good Air Force driver in that 7 car to his outside.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is out. We're underway. It will be the 20 car. That is Blake Chapman, the youngster. Took a shot at the World of Outlaws, and it shows in that 20 car. Barry Goldner in the 36 P2. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 is P3. Patrick Spangler in the 39 tries the bottom side. Bob the Good goes by on the high side. Good run off a 2 by the 7 car of Bob the Good. Now Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. He's on the bottom, even with the 7 car. Jeff Valero in the 200 once by. Oh, looked like Patrick Spangler hard into the wall. Blake Chapman at the front of the field checking out. Over a half-second lead between himself and Brandon Dittmer. Patrick Spangler, somebody else off the top. Can't keep track. Might have been Grandy. Patrick Spangler in P3. Barry Goldner in the 36 car is in P number 4. Jeff Valero in the 200 is P5. 36 gets a little bit loose off the exit of 4. And Jeff Valero capitalizes. Laps going by in a big hurry. It will be Blake Chapman with 1 lap to go in the 20 car. Chooses the bottom line. At least my board shows 1 to go. Checkered flag is out. Not real sure what happened. 3 minutes of warm-up, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name's Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
When people hear a Till Valhalla project, the first thing they might think of is our shirts. But what most people don't know is that our plaques came first and the t-shirts came second. What some people might not know is that the same shirts that we make day in and day out allowed us to do unbelievable things for unbelievable people. Whether it's donating our proceeds to reduce veteran suicide or gifting handcrafted memorial plaques to the families of fallen heroes, these t-shirts simply stand for honor and freedom. 2 words that wouldn't exist without our heroes. This makes Till Valhalla Project a place where fallen heroes truly live on forever.
Welcome back. Connor Ross at the top of the board in warm-ups with a 13.283. Blake Chapman in the second with a 14.435. Getting ready to go feature racing in the 360 sprint cars. Should have a full feature. Stephen Goldner, Randy Shreves on the front row. Blake Chapman, Greg Boydell in row number 2. Jeff Barker, Patrick Spengler in 3. Roger Craig, Pat Boyce in row number 4. Jeff Falero, Nathan Aldrich in row number 5. Connor Ross, Barry Goldner in row number 6. Gary Taylor, Andrew Embach in row number 7. Brandon Dittmer, Nick Shell in row number 8. Dean Reynolds, Bob DeGood in row number 9. Jeff Kemper, Brenton Lacey in 10. Joseph Grandy, Donovan Ross in 11. And Steve Bixler rounds out your field of 23 drivers. So Stephen Goldner, he put on quite the show in his heat race. He will roll off on the pole with the 56 of Randy Shreves to his outside.
Green flag, green flag. flag, green flag. The yellow flag is out.
So here we go on lap 20 of 22. It will be Goldner and Spangler at the front of the field. Randy Shreves in the final podium position. Let's see how this plays out. Lights are still on the pace truck. Can Goldner hold off Spangler and Shreves? We'll get an interview with your top three at the conclusion of the 360 sprint cars. Coming up next, 410 sprint cars come to the track. The lights should go off on the pace truck. We will go green next time by. Pace truck will exit, leaving the field to the 30 car of Stephen Goldner for the restart. Boydell back in the 014, one position out of a podium finish. The 014 will be pressing for one position improvement. Goldner holds him up, restart comes out. Goldner dives down low. Patrick Spangler goes up high. 56 of Randy Shreves goes down low. The top three pull away from the field. Stephen Goldner to the high side. Off a turn 4, 1 to go. 30 car of Stephen Goldner with Patrick Spangler to his tail tank. Randy Shreves, Stephen Goldner, 2 more quarters. 39 car of Spangler dives it down low for the win. Patrick Spangler to the point. Spangler, Goldner, Shreves, your top three. What a great finish. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. Waited till the last lap and threw the slider in turn 3 and 4. Puts the 39 car into victory lane. Congratulations to the 39 car. We will get a word with your top three here momentarily. See if we can catch up with Randy Shreves here. There is the 56 of Randy Shreves. My great friend Randy Shreves, how you doing?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
Man, that looked exciting up there in the 360s, sliding around. You fell back one. Do you think you had anything for the top two?
Probably not. They're always fast. This track was just real slick. I think my car had a little bit of damage there. It was kind of handling a little weird. So, yeah, I don't know. I just tried to keep it in one piece, keep it on the track.
Yeah, man, I've heard for the second time tonight that the track slicked up really quick. Do you think it was the change to the update that iRacing did, or was it like normal?
I mean, sometimes this track does get really slick like that, just like, all tracks. They just wear differently, and this one just, I don't know, it got slick pretty quick, though. But, yeah, you just never know. They change so much. Just got to watch for it and play it safe.
Yeah, man, I'd never turned down a podium for sure. Who do you want to thank on that 56 car for a podium finish?
I definitely want to thank my team, LGR Motorsports, Alex Bergeron at ABR Setup Shop, Coulter West at Redline Race Design, One Wish Foundation, Wraps and Stitches, KSB Builders, Finish Line Repair, you, Joe, for taking time out of your busy schedule to broadcast this tonight, Coast to Coast for always putting on this awesome league, and everybody for watching.
Yeah, man, I feel kind of comfortable just chatting with you. It's been, I don't know, a year and a half since I've been broadcasting, and you and I talk at least weekly, man. Congratulations on the podium finish, my friend.
Yeah, it's always fun. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Stephen Goldner brings the 30 car home in P2. Stephen, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you.
Man, what? The last lap, oh my goodness. You led the majority of the race, man. Walk us through your night in the 30 car. You were on rails early.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I was thinking at the end in 3 and 4. That's kind of embarrassing, but real good car, real good engines. I think winning racing engines for the engine. Real good car all night. Heat race was good. Feature was good until I guess the driver stepped on a little bit going in the 3. So it is what it is. We'll try again in the 410s, I guess.
Yeah, man. I don't think there will ever be a day that I say I'm embarrassed for a second place finish and putting that 30 car on the podium. But, however, at one point you had over or almost a second lead. I can't remember. Maybe it's over a second lead over the field. Did cautions get the better of you tonight?
Yeah, I was getting a little frustrated with cautions there. We're at the end too with the green light checkers. I'm like, oh, I'm okay once I get like settled in, but like the 1 or 2 lap green flag runs, I really gotta work on, I guess, because I missed it in 1 and 2 on that last lap, and then Spangler threw a slider, which he was clear anyways, and then I just pretty well came to a stop for some reason. Guess brain wasn't working with the foot, I guess.
Well, I don't think I could. I would never complain. I might retire if I finished second place on a podium in 360s. But great run by you, my friend. Who do you want to thank on that 30 ride tonight for a podium finish?
I gotta thank all the guys at Bandy Built, Ross, Granette, Velocity Races Zone, Start Talk to Trucking, Wegman Brothers, Pow.com, Moon Racing Engines, Fits Perfect Photography. You guys for the broadcast definitely stepping up and helping out C2C for tonight. Gotta thank all the guys at C2C, Cool Ray, all the sponsors with the league.
Yeah, man, great run. So we are gonna see you in the 410s. You said.
Yeah, I'm hoping I smarten up here in the 410 so we can talk to you with the first place finish.
Man, I still can't get over myself. Smarten up, second on a podium. Holy smokes! So we'll see you in the 410s. Maybe we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, hopefully. Thank you.
All right, man. Patrick Spangler in the 39 machine waits till the last lap to put a little excitement into it. Patrick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Holy smokes, my friend. That was an exciting exit to turn 4. Walk us through your night.
Started off early, and I slid Randy and Blake earlier in the race, and I got into the front stretch wall and climbed the fence a little bit, so the right front was tilted in. I had to make sure not to do that in the last one, but then right for that first green white checkered, slammed off the top of turn 4 and came down and hit Blake, and he went flipping. So sorry to Blake there, didn't mean to do that. Feel bad there, but yeah, that last lap was pretty intense. Goldner just got a little loose off turn 2, and then I had a massive run. I didn't know if he was going to go low to try and block or rip the top, so I saw he was going top, and I just sent the slider, and it stuck really well, and I cleared him by quite a bit and got the win there. Got lucky.
Yep. Yeah, man, I can't stop smiling. I'm watching you here pull up to the to victory lane here. Great run by that 39 machine, man. As always, I've raced with you and I've watched you race, and I'm not surprised. Last lap pass coming off of turn 4. Great run by that 39, man. Who would you like to thank for your drive to victory lane?
Just you, Joe, for always a good broadcast when you come out. Roger for running the league. Roger for picking Lernerville, favorite track. Dad, Uncle back on watching. Wife let me race, and Train was racing.
All right, man. We're going to see you in the 410s.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there.
Right on, man. Good luck. Hope to talk to you again.
Sounds good, hopefully.
Yeah, man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are the 360 sprint cars. When we come back, we will have the big boys, the 410 sprint cars. Will take to Lernerville. So when we come back, We'll be on track.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and women enlist in the armed forces for many reasons, including a sense of duty, patriotism, the adventure, travel, and adrenaline. Many continue their military service because they discover a brother and sisterhood, an identity, a team. When service members are injured or wounded and can no longer perform their military duties, they quickly find themselves removed from their team, no longer serving the purpose for which they trained.
I came back from Afghanistan in 2013, and it was kind of a trial and error of finding out, after the military, what's next in life.
Being forced to leave a military career filled with purpose and pride can be challenging. Some challenges may leave lasting scars. An illness, wound, or injury can make anyone question their worth and sense of belonging after military service.
35 years in the Army, and I needed something to transition into. And so from that transition came an idea, and the idea was this.
Even though a military career may be coming to an end, or already ended, recovery can occur in the most unexpected places with unforeseen opportunities. Recovery, whether physical or mental, has no defined beginning or ending. It may last a lifetime.
For me, one of the biggest surprises that I found out going through it was that it's not like the flu where, you get sick and then you get better. You're never cured. And that's so frustrating. It's so hard to tell someone that. And it's so easy to slip back. And every single time you have to find a new way to fight it, it's a different monster every time you battle it.
This can feel daunting to a warrior who is suddenly forced to leave everything they know, trust, and love, finding themselves at the beginning of an unknown and possibly frightening new journey. Welcome to the world of motorsports.
We're in the right place at the right time in our lives to be able to take these guys that are wounded and put them in front of people that can actually show them that there is a camaraderie, there's a brotherhood within the motorsports industry, that there is potential for career opportunities for them if they have the skill set.
Motorsports offers an opportunity to regain that sense of identity within a safe, fast-paced team environment, providing a renewed sense of purpose. It has many facets, all created by teams working together for success on the track. Like in the military, in motorsports the goal is in accomplishing the mission, winning as a team, collectively celebrating the successes and supporting teammates through the losses. Through motorsport opportunities, Operation Motorsport assists medically transitioning service members and veterans with discovering new ways of achieving a renewed sense of hope, purpose, and pride.
Besides the basic brake changing, oil changing, tire rotation, I've actually learned how to assemble and disassemble some engine parts, change some axles, do some alignments and stuff. So give it a try. You never know. This was nothing that I expected. I did not expect to be fully suited, jumping over a wall while cars were going 100 and something miles an hour.
From motors to media, tires to tickets, and hot laps to hospitality. Operation Motorsport provides beneficiaries the chance to become immersed within professional motorsports and provides them with the opportunity to find out firsthand what captivates their imagination and interest. These opportunities provide an avenue of discovery within the motorsports immersion or diversionary therapy programs, all within the Excite, Engage, and Empower recovery programs. Operation Motorsport also offers virtual engagements and recovery opportunities through an iRacing League, engaging beneficiaries in a safe, competitive environment from the comfort and safety of their home. Meeting other like-minded people, service members and veterans on the virtual racetrack, opening the doors to Motorsport Academy programs that prepare beneficiaries for their first encounters at the racetrack, and possibly leading to a day when they can get behind the wheel.
A team environment's a perfect place for people like us to kind of get back into some kind of normalcy when you go through a lot when you get medically discharged. and it kind of sucks and you put through the ringer, but I feel like what Operation Motorsport's doing is just something that's just really valuable.
Operation Motorsport prides itself in keeping beneficiaries engaged after the race weekend, throughout their recovery and beyond, through our recovery programs, or as a member of the 22 pit crew. No matter the background or story, Operation Motorsport is always there to listen, provide a safe and comfortable space, and a trusted circle of confidence that is open and honest about what difficulties may lie ahead for those transitioning out of a military career. Operation Motorsport believes in the power of team, identity, and purpose.
History repeats itself. History is always happening over and over again. So one of the ways to stop a theme, one of the ways to stop something from reoccurring is to first of all admit it. It didn't take long for us to quickly realize that there was power behind Mission 22, power behind its brand, power behind its message, and power behind its people that represented it.
All right, my friends, day 19 of 22, the 22-day push-up challenge. Day 19 means 418 men and women have possibly committed suicide in the last 19 days. I went and looked up my ship, the USS Rushmore. More people who have killed themselves by now than ever served on our ship at one time in just 19 days.
19, 20, 21. One more. Y'all ready for the last one?
Yeah, Mission 22 has become a decentralized nationwide effort to show love, to raise money, to be available for other warriors, to be able to be a point of contact, to let the warriors know, but also for warriors to let other warriors know that there is a community. You're not alone. This isn't happening in silence. You're not forgotten. You know, we brought 4 veterans from all different parts of the United States and brought them together to hike through the state of Oregon.
May God bless you on your journey. Thank you for serving our country and for being willing to go on this walk. I'm praying you feel peace and strength with each mile.
You know, on this hike, some folks found God, some folks remained sober, some folks lost a significant amount of weight to be able to participate. And not so much just a healing walk for us as warriors, but for us to contribute to other people's healing. You know, this hike, we raised $12,000 for endobiogeny. Some of the folks on this hike, you know, they're going to be volunteers for this treatment. And I couldn't be more pleased and more proud because it was difficult. We had a lot of struggles. Not everything on this hike went pretty, you know, but we put some skin in the game. At the end of the day, we were able to raise money and we'll be able to use that money so guys can get the treatment that they need. The War at Home Monument is an example of our social impact, of our awareness, of our permanent fixture to do the work that we can't always do, to always remind us of what we've lost and what we will lose if we don't reconcile it. What we've done is taken 20 different veterans with their families' permission and used them as a silhouette to cut out of a 3,000-pound plate of steel. These warriors are placed in a V, and this is to show the size of the problem. This is to show the empty space they leave behind. And it's also to be a constant reminder of what happens when we don't listen to the stories of the warriors that fought in our name. Because it's not okay. It's not okay that everyone didn't know about veteran suicide. It's not okay that these things were a secret or left unsaid, or that it was shameful. It's not okay that it's shameful to suffer alone and suffer in silence, because if you ask for help, that you're no longer a warrior, that you're weak.
Yeah. So I come back and I thought everybody else changed. So I pushed my family away. And it took a long time to really realize it because I didn't want to look internally. You know, I got my Class A CDL and hit the road. I was on the road for about 8 years trucking. And this makes me think about how insignificant all of the major things going on are. I mean, what, 1 million years ago, that blew up. And, you know, over time became this.
Whether it's hiking mountains or building monuments, it takes a community to heal a warrior. Warriors didn't get damaged and didn't become separated from the sunlight of the spirit on their own. It happened in the name of this nation. We can change the way we think about war, how we think about warriors, how we think about ourselves, and what we think we're going to do in the American community. We can do it now. We can do it here. And there's going to be another generation of warriors coming. We can set the tone to create a culture that grabs them up and loves them and smothers them in resources, in opportunity right now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at Lernerville. Jeff Valero at the top of the board with a 12.314. Donovan Ross, P2, with a 12.450. We're getting ready to go 410 racing here at Lernerville. We'll follow Donovan Ross in that 5 car as he's getting around Lernerville, running the bottom side. Barry Goldner still out track in that 36 machine. Yes, Donovan Ross exits the speedway. We're getting ready to go heat racing here. Pill draw for heat spots in the Coast to Coast Racing League. Brendan Lacey, Jeff Valero in P1 and 2. Nick Shell, Steve Goldner in the second row. Jeff Barker, Nathan Aldrich in row number 3. Donovan Ross, Blake Chapman in 4. Brandon Dittmer and Dean Reynolds in row number 5. We're going to have 6 laps to get it done here. Brendan Lacey at the front of the field in that 450 or 414. My apologies. The 200 of Jeff Valero to his outside. Steve Goldner, we heard from that 30 car at the end of the 360 race. A little bit disappointed in the second place finish, which is hard for me to grasp, but we'll roll off on the outside of row number 2. The 513, that is Jeff Barker in the 513 Marine Machine. We are under green. Brandon Lacey on the inside. Jeff Valero to his outside. Jeff Valero and Steve Goldner go side by side. We're going 3 wide. On lap number 1, Goldner and Valero. They take a dance off the backstretch. Nick Shell up to P2. Jeff Barker in the 513 working the bottom side. That 513 has been down on the bottom more times than I can count, and he's making it work. Nick Shell, now Brandon Dittmer to the outside. On lap 3 of 6, Brendan Lacey checking out on the field. Barker moves to the middle in the 350 or 513. My apologies. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 car moves to the outside. Donovan Ross in the 5 car in P4. Blake Chapman, the first car on the outside, looking in at a transfer position. Up front, Brendan Lacey getting it done in the 414. Takes the white flag. Barker, Donovan Ross, Brandon Dittmer in a battle. Oh, contact made. Brendan Lacey comes off at turn 4. It will be Lacey. Brandon Dittmer, Blake Chapman, Donovan Ross, your top 4. Heat 2, Randy Shrees, Bob DeGood on the front row, Barry Goldner, Roger Craig in row number 2, Gary Taylor, Pat Boyce in row number 3, Jeff Kemper, Patrick Spangler in 4. Andrew Embach will round out your field of 9 drivers. Everyone heading to the feature, it will be that 56 of Randy Shreves, who finished on the podium in the 360 sprint cars. See Bob DeGood. Love to see that. Let's take a look here if I can find it. There is the Mission 22 on board. That 7 car. I'd like to thank Bob DeGood for his support of Mission 22. Randy Shreves will take us to the green flag. Green flag this time by. Randy Shreves coming off at turn 4. Green flag is out. We are underway. Randy Shreves, Bob DeGood. Underneath Bob DeGood is Barry Goldner in the 36. Good run off the bottom side. Roger Craig in the 747 gets a good run. 34 off the top, able to get back in the race. You got Shreves, you got Barry Goldner, Patrick Spangler rolling the bottom. We saw that 39 car on the bottom in the 360 sprint cars to win. Somebody off the top, didn't see who it was. Randy Shreves and Patrick Spangler going to battle it out. Bob DeGood in P3. Roger Craig in the 4th and final featured transfer position. Randy Shreves able to break away from the field in the 39. Bob DeGood looking underneath the 39 car. Can't make it happen. Now Andrew Embach, not sure what happened to the 747 of Roger Craig. Contact Jeff Kemper and the 410. The battle's going to be right here for the lead. Patrick Spangler, Randy Shreves, 1 to go. Spangler, good run off of 4. Put the 39 car at the point. That's your points leader. Randy Shreves falls back to P2. Coming off of 4, Spangler, Shreves, Bob DeGood in P4. Jeffrey Kemper will round up in a P number 4. Spangler, Shreves, DeGood, Kemper. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have 3 minutes of warm-up, so we will be right back. Welcome back. We're getting ready for the feature. Here's Brendan Lacey, top of the board with a 13. Exited before I got a chance to read it. Brendan Lacey at top of the board for warm-ups. Brendan Lacey, Patrick Spengler on the front row. Dittmer, Shreves in row number 2. Chapman to Good in 3. Ross Kemper in 4. Schnell and Embach in row number 5. Aldrich Boyce in 6. Reynolds Goldner in 7. Barker Taylor in 8. Falero Craig in 9. And Stephen Goldner rounds out your field of 19 drivers in the 410 Sprint Car feature race. Again, Patrick Spengler, Brandon Dittmer, Nathan Aldrich, Randy Shreve, Jeff Barker, your top 5 in the Hometown Heroes 410 Sprint Cars. Lights are off on the pace truck, getting ready to go green. Pace truck will exit. As Brendan Lacey will take the green flag in the 414 on the bottom side. Spengler will go to the high side. A great run off the top of turn 2. Side by side into turn 3. Lacey working the bottom side is able to get the 414 to the lead once again. Spengler in P2. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 car. He's able to move up to P3. Blake Chapman in the 20 car. Randy Shreves in the 56. Caution comes out. Andrew Embach involved. Let's take a look. Bob DeGood and Embach make contact. That was a hard tumble for Embach there. So the 414 of Lacey able to hold off the charge. Patrick Spengler now. All starts are single file. Lights will go off on the pace truck this time by on lap 2 or 3 of 20. Pace truck is off, leaving the field to Brendan Lacey. Back under green, Brendan Lacey, Patrick Spengler 1-2. Lacey goes up high. Oh my goodness, look at that topside work for the 414. He pulls away from Patrick Spengler. Spengler able to get to the high side. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 car. He's still working the bottom as the top side goes by. Blake Chapman In the 20 car in P4, Donovan Ross working the bottom. Randy Shreves working the middle. We have multiple Groove Racing. Patrick Spangler now at the front of the field. Brandon Dittmer, P2. Dittmer still working the bottom side. Blake Chapman moves up. Caution comes back out. Nathan Aldridge involved. 514 car, that's right below you as the 34 comes up. Into the 514, around goes New York driver Nathan Aldridge. Patrick Spangler getting it done in that 39 machine. On lap 7 of 20, getting ready to go back to green. We will get the one to go this time by. Pace truck is off, getting ready to go back green. On lap 7 of 20, Patrick Spangler, Dittmer, Chapman, your top three. Brendan Lacey falls back to P4. Up front, Spangler, great restart. Chooses the bottom, goes through the grass. Brandon Dittmer in the 83 car follows suit. Blake Chapman on the high side, working up. Spangler goes way over the top. Brendan Lacey falls back to P4. Up front, Patrick Spangler getting it done. Let's go on the right rear of Spangler and see how close he's coming to that top edge, coming off of turn 2. Into 3 and 4. Right above right on the edge of the slick. Good run by Spangler. Blake Chapman in P2. Let's go on board with Blake and see if he can't track down as the caution comes back out. Jeff Kemper involved in the 181 machine. If I can find him here. Roger Craig running with Kemper back there. Kemper just goes around with contact by the 747. Spangler and Chapman at the front of the field on lap 11 of 20.
Hang on, we're not going green, not going green.
Caution is delayed by a lap at least. We are halfway home. As the lights should go off on the pace truck, Patrick Spangler, Chapman, Dittmer, Lacey, Ross. Patrick Spengler is your points leader, followed by Dittmer, Aldrich, Shreves, Barker, your top 5. We haven't checked in with the 513 Marine machine of Barker. Is he in the field tonight? Let's take a look. I don't see Barker in the field. Pace truck is off. We're back under green. Spengler, your points leader. On the point, dives down low. Chapman goes up high in 1 and 2. Spengler able to hold off Chapman. Brandon Dittmer, now Brendan Lacey into 414. We're about to have a drag race for that front position. Thought about 3 wide. That is Donovan Ross and the 83 car of Dittmer. Side by side. Up front, Spengler now starting to pull away from Blake Chapman in the 20. Brendan Lacey in P3 into 414. Chapman up 3 positions in the KSR ride. Lap 15 of 20, 34 car. That is the captain, Gary Taylor, staying down low out of the way. Will we see another last lap pass? Will the 39 car, since he's the one that completed the last lap pass in the 360s, will he be able to hold off the youngster in the 20 KSR machine? There he goes, down low goes Chapman. Spengler on the outside, crossover coming. Spengler back to the point as the caution comes back out. The 181 running with the 747 of Roger Craig. Just dives it down low. Not sure who that is in front of them. Craig sends it down low. Slides up to the outside. Contact is made there by the 181. Around he goes. Patrick Spengler at the front of the field. He's got the 20 car to his rear bumper on lap 17 of 20. Running out of laps to get it done. Patrick Spengler, Chapman, Lacey, your top 3. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Lap 18 of 20. Patrick Spengler with a lead over Blake Chapman in the 20 car. Chapman with a great run off the top side. Brendan Lacey in the 414 in the race. Top 3 breaking away from the field on lap 19 of 22 to go. Spengler, Chapman, Lacey, your top 3. Spengler stays on the high side, runs a little bit lower than the 20 car. Here we go. Watch turns 3 and 4. Chapman checks up as the 39 gets loose. Here it comes. Down low, Blake Chapman off of 4. Can't get it done. Spengler, Chapman, Lacey, your top 3. We will get a word with your top 3 here momentarily as soon as those drivers get their podium pictures taken. We'll get a word with first the 414 of Brennan Lacey. There is the 414 of Brennan Lacey. Brennan, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, man.
Hey, man, great running that Vanderbilt 414. Walk us through your night, man. You fell back a couple positions. What do you think you missed there?
Oh, not enough seat time in the big horsepower. 360s were pretty dang quick in, but I just done not enough seat time and not enough confidence to drive a 410 quite like I want to anymore. So that's really about all it took there, and that track's already tricky as it is.
Yeah, Lernerville can be a challenge. Did the slick track play into your third place finish, or was it the line? What caused you to fall back?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I mean, I don't mind a slick track. I knew it was gonna be up there. It's real tight up there on the top. Everyone knows that, and you have to pedal it pretty dang hard to get it to go around there smooth. But it's just me trying to give it too much power and spinning the tires about everywhere. So that hurt me more than anything, I would say for sure.
Yeah, man. Anytime that I talk to a third place finisher on the podium, I just kind of shake my head. If third place is the worst that I can do, I'm doing pretty good on any given night. Great run by the 414 Vanderbilt machine, man. Who do you want to thank for your drive to a podium finish?
Oh, big shout out to Vanderbilt as always. I got to thank Goldner, even though it's a little bit of a yard dart tonight. Little joke there, but I gotta say he was doing a heck of a job spotting from 13th. That's all I gotta say. But big shout out to him, Ross Velocity Race Design. Appreciate you all as well, and hopefully we'll see you again sometime next week.
Yeah, man. Great run by that 414. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Blake Chapman in the 20 car comes up one spot short. He moves up 3 from the starting position. Blake, this is Joe. You got me?
I got you, Joe.
All right, man. What's the difference between the 360s and the 410s other than horsepower?
Yeah, I don't know if there was a whole lot of differences. The top was still pretty dominant, and it got really slick. So, which is kind of what we expected. And the cautions were actually pretty low for how slick it was. So I think you guys did a good job of keeping their cars under control and having a good throttle control there. But I just feel like I needed that last caution to not come out. Work Patrick just a little bit more. It was a good race for sure. Just wish I would have got him there at the end.
Yeah, man, the points leader takes it to victory lane. You finished P2. I would not complain about that, man. Who do you want to thank for your drive to a podium finish?
My parents, grandparents, everybody watching it, supporting. I got to give a shout out to the boys at the Kreitzum Racing Team and the Can-Am Racing Team and the Salty Dogs for letting me join them tonight. I got to give a shout out to Galen's Gourmet Popcorn. Head over to their website and use code CART at CART at checkout for 15% off of some of their really delicious popcorn. And I got to give my condolences to Bill Calder and all of his family after his wife passed away this week. And he's going to be out here running the Enduro tonight, and I know he really likes running that Enduro, so it's great to see him back out here with us. He does a lot for the league, and we really appreciate what he does. And I got to thank you for stepping up and broadcasting this, Joe.
Yeah, man. You know what? I couldn't said that any different. Yeah, send a message out to Bill Calder. Yeah, what a deal, man. So, yeah, man, congratulations on the second place finish. I don't think we're going to broadcast the Enduro, but have fun.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man. Patrick Spangler in the 39 car. He keeps it up front. Moves up 1 from the outside of row number 1. Patrick, this is Joe. You got me?
Yep, gotcha.
Man, great run by the 39 car. I was kind of thinking we would have a Blake Chapman throwing the slide job in that last lap, but that 39 was pretty hooked up on that outside, man. Great run by you. Do you think that, were you watching him? Do you even use a mirror?
I do have the mirror. I thought he was going to throw it completely there, and he would have had me, I think, because he was quicker. I think because he threw that slider on me earlier too. He was better in 1 and 2, and I was better in 3 and 4. But like it was very slick out there, and he really had a feather of throttle. I don't think I was ever over a 3/4 throttle out there. Just between like 25 and 75% throttle.
Yeah, man, you increase your points lead over the field there. So great run by that 39 car. You moved up 1 from your start. Great run by the 39. All in all, man, who do you want to thank for your drive to victory lane?
you, Joe, and Got Your Six Network. Roger from the league, Training Wheels Racing. Dad, I'll come back home watching. Wife here, and yeah.
All right, man. You running the enduros?
Probably not tonight. I've run them a couple times before, but the regular street stock race maybe. But I'm not a big fan of the enduro.
All right, man. Congratulations on expanding your points lead into 410s. Great run, man, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, man. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are the 410 sprint cars. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And until Friday night, we'll be back on air with Friday Night Lights. Until then, we will see ya.
Yes, that's why. So we'll just give them a quick brush, and then we'll get our stuff on, and then we have like an obstacle course. And so
I'm smiling.
You don't know why you're smiling. We always smile. Smiling's the best.
The Mission 22 Equine Program is a riding program for children of veterans. We also serve grandchildren or direct family members of veterans.
It's a lot of fun, and I've always loved horses.
We have private lessons and group lessons, but it's not just riding. You know, riding lessons, people just think that that's all it is. But we have the opportunity here to really build confidence, to lower stress levels, to give them an outlet and opportunity to spend time doing something healthy and productive. Mission 22 is really based on the foundation of the importance for family. It's why we're supporting families here. So in a time where kids' programs are being canceled left and right, school is shut down, they're not able to be around their friends, you know, being able to have an opportunity where they can just be together and let go of that stress and be around people. Again, honestly, it's just really that simple, being around people. You know, who would have thought that it was something as simple as that?
That's okay. You want to grab his reins, and then I'll have you walk him forward.
It's really a special thing to watch these kids come every week and build a partnership and a relationship with their horse. It lets them forget about everything that's going on in life, being able to come here, kind of shut the world out a little bit, and have a really stress-free, fun environment.
There's tons of studies that have been done on lowering of cortisol levels of children, and especially with children of veterans, often growing up in a household that can be a more stressful place, to be able to have an outlet where they can be outside, fresh air, horses around them, and just growing in that confidence.
Horses are really unique. They're very intuitive to people. They're very emotionally intelligent. They're very emotional animals, very in tune to people. They have a great way of reading people as well, that they can pick up on if you're feeling nervous or scared or excited. They're very reflective to how you feel. And so it's a great way to kind of check in with yourself and see how you're feeling, because they'll let you know.
When you're riding bareback, it's really important to think about keeping your thighs nice and snug.
Watch your spacing. Remember 1 to 2 horse lengths in between. Nice work. Yep, then you're going to go through the blue barrels, and you can weave through them, and you can walk through them.
Before we came to Central Oregon, we were based out of Portland. So we were renting an office in the city, we were having to pay to board horses, and it was getting to be exceptionally expensive. And so what it came down to was an opportunity to have a facility that we can grow programs out, that we could have the equine program on our own property, that we can continue to operate during a time that nobody really knew kind of what was happening next. And so having our own facility gave us the freedom to continue serving the families that we care about.
It's so fun to see parents come and talk to each other, and being able to kind of share stories, watch their kids together is a really neat thing. Talk about just life in general, having a place to come and to really connect with people.
I really like riding the horse because it's the best thing ever, and it's so exciting.
By supporting families of veterans on this property through the equine program, it really gives us the opportunity to show that importance. So we're not just supporting their kids, but we're supporting their families. They're having a community here, and building that strong family foundation builds a strong veteran. And that is something that we very much believe in, is supporting the family, supporting the veteran, and that cohesiveness together.